Are you a creative entrepreneur looking for some no-nonsense, straight-talking, actionable advice? Well, you're in the right place, and today on the Creative Business TV show, we're going to help you find your pricing sweet spot. Hello and welcome to a little segment of our show we like to call Ask Kylie. I'm your host, Kylie Carlson, and in this episode, I'm taking a question from Heather from Doncaster. And Heather writes, "Hi Kylie, I'm a wedding stylist and florist, and I've been in business now for around 5 years. I'm now at the point where I'm well established, but I'm struggling to justify charging what I'm worth. I know my clients could go to cheaper stylists in my area, but they wouldn't have the quality of work or experience that I can offer. Can you give me some advice on how I can charge what I'm worth?" Oh, Heather, this is a juicy subject. And it's one that I could probably write a book on, but I've only got 5 minutes, so I want to give you some actionable takeaways that you can apply pretty much straight away. So the first thing you need to do is look at the positioning of your service or services. How are you marketing your services right now? Are you putting yourself out there as a high-end stylist or florist, or are you offering a product that's, more attainable to all brides? Do you want to offer something that is lower priced but that leads into a service that has a higher ticket price? Or is it just one part of your business that you want to charge a higher price for? So what this comes down to is where you fit into the marketplace, because this is going to have a huge bearing on how you price your services and how they're perceived by others. So let's put it into perspective for a moment and talk about jewellery. We all love jewellery. If I go into a high street jeweller such as Goldsmiths, H. Samuel, Beaverbrooks, all those types of stores, I have a certain expectation when I walk through the door. I know that there will be a price tag that won't make me faint. The service will be good, but not over the top. However, when I go through the door of Tiffany & Co., my expectations are so completely different, from the level of service, the exclusivity, the price, the surroundings, the packaging, everything. So the first thing you need to decide is whether you're Goldsmiths or Tiffany, because how you package yourself and the story you tell is going to be completely different. Now, once you've done that, we can move on to the next step, and that is quantifying your value proposition. So long gone are the days of selling features and benefits. Today, to set your pricing at a point that's going to be accepted, you need an in-depth dialogue of your client's sort of inner workings, a well-honed ability to quantify your value in their eyes. And here's what I mean. So last year, I moved to France, as probably you know. And as part of that move, we were renovating an open hangar into an office. And I had this vision of the office, and I knew I wanted it to be on the first floor, looking at the view of the countryside, with windows that went all the way across. Now, of course, as the client, I had a budget in mind of what I wanted to pay for the windows. But when it came to discussing them, the sales guy suggested we had bifold doors that came all the way across and opened right up. And then he suggested we should build a balcony, which we could go out onto from the office once the bifold doors were open. Okay, as you can imagine, once I heard about this particular option, I wanted it. There was no going back. What I didn't want was the massive price tag that came with it. It was nearly 5,000 more than just having the windows. So it was then that the sales guy got really clever and said something that really resonated with me and had me hooked. He started to describe what it would be like to have the windows open in the summer with the breeze gently blowing through, and how I'd feel at one with nature. I'd have the ability to wander outside with a coffee and sit on the balcony to clear my mind, and then in the evening sit there watching the sun go down with a glass of wine. And he finished up telling me all this would make me more productive, feel more inspired, and be more creative. Boy, did that guy know how to sell. Like, how could I put a price on that? As you can imagine, with this little spiel, the extra money started to seem worth it. All of a sudden, I wasn't thinking about the price. I was already on that balcony with my glass of wine looking at the sunset. I was sold. So what I'm trying to say here is that what you charge is all relative to the real value that you bring to someone. And as a wedding stylist, you'll be building a vision in your client's mind about her wedding day. That vision's going to be ticking the boxes, pulling at the heartstrings, and have her emotionally connected to you and your services, thus allowing her to justify the extra cost to hire you. She will want the vision you've created for her, the story that you've built in her mind, which comes back to the first step of deciding whether the story you're telling is the Goldsmiths story or the Tiffany story. So Heather, I really hope this helps you to start justifying your worth and to identify what value you're going to bring to your clients. That's all I have time for today. But remember, this little segment of the show only works if you guys send me your questions each week, and you can do that by leaving a comment below using the hashtag AskKylie on Instagram or by emailing me at askkylie@kyliecarlson.co. And if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe and share it with other creative entrepreneurs. I'll see you next week or next Wednesday for another episode of Ask Kylie.